Across the river from downtown Cincinnati, in Covington, Kentucky's main Strauss, and from the beautiful village Sight, Sound, and Stage, it's Fret Buzz. Featuring Mike Reeder. William Gilmore Weber. And the lovely Janelle Stevens as the barista. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Mike Reeder.
Here on Fret Buzz with my friends. And William, you look quite different today.
I got younger and uglier.
And you grew a beard too, man. Well, thanks everybody for coming. Really looking forward to today. This is going to be a great show. And I guess you guys know Scotty's here. William couldn't make it due to some family stuff, and we wish him the best. But we're going to have a good old time today. How y'all been, man? You ready for gigs starting to happen? I guess everybody's getting swamped, right? I mean, I'm getting crazy.
Thick of it, more than ever. You know
Isn't
what I
it
mean?
awesome?
It's great. People are actually offering money now.
Yep.
And people want to go to shows now.
That's right. Today I got my friend Jim Snowden, Matthew Waters. It's an easy one to forget. Not really.
All good.
Scotty Bratchard sitting in for William. Thank you so much, Scotty.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
Good to
it,
be
brother. And we had Dudley Taft and Rob McAllister.
Yep.
All right. So who played last night? Anybody?
Jammed with Johnny Fink at Mansion
Mr.
Hill.
Fink, yeah.
Yep.
Fink is he's sort of a study thing here. We always see Mr. Fink. He's been on many shows, and we love the Fink.
Yeah, he's always buying and selling guitars.
He is,
So
yeah.
He's your buddy.
That's what I love about Marketplace. You can look and see what people are selling.
Yeah.
And Johnny's got like 5 guitars and a Lexus this week.
Yeah, he's always got stuff going on, man. So how'd that go? Was it good? Was it busy?
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, it's Mansion Hill. It's always packed in there, and
Yeah.
he's got a line of ladies dancing
That's always good.
in front and everything. Well, I was sitting in the chair right in front of where you order drinks, and there was a lot of rump going on, so I had to kind of scoot around.
Distract you too much?
No.
Last time we played there, some lady got drunk and knocked over Mark's amp, and it fell off his cabinet, hit the floor. Stopped working for about 15 minutes.
There's no real stage or
Yeah,
barrier
they come through there to get
at
to the
Mansion
bathroom.
Hill.
It's like,
I mean, it's fun though.
Oh,
You,
it's a
you look
blast.
at it and you
Yeah.
just go, God, I never want to do this. But
Oh,
you do, and it's fun.
yeah, I played worse spots for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, so what about you, man? You been playing?
Yeah, well, we got our new record that we've been working on for a while, and we basically haven't done anything local in a while. Like, we were waiting for everything to kind of get back to normal.
Yeah.
But we did actually go out to Canton, Ohio, with our friends Symptoms.
Gotcha.
They were on tour, and it felt weird. We were always touring with them, so it felt weird if we didn't at least do one show. And we were like, we don't want to do anything local until the record release show.
Gotcha.
And so we went out there and played like 2 weeks ago at Buzzbin, and it was incredible. It was just like that feeling, like getting back to it. Like,
Yeah.
we hadn't played for a crowd in so
People
long.
are itching, man. I mean, it's been
Yeah.
the things we've done have been great. I mean, it's
Yeah,
sure it's
people,
been
I
great.
mean, dude, the first show I went and saw Galactic at River's Edge. And this was like a couple months ago, and it was still, like, do we wear masks? Is it,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And they had some pens sort of like
Yeah.
outside. You and your buddies stand here. I mean, I had woke up the next morning, I could barely move my knee because I was dancing, I was jumping around. Like, I didn't realize how much I missed it.
Yeah.
We all listen to music at home, but man, when it's outside and you got a nice mix and the subwoofer's hitting you in the chest and,
Yeah.
and people are jamming and these guys are basically like a jam band. And I was just, and I get it. That's why other people come to the show. Oh man, this is so great. And I'm going, really? I'm not doing so good over here, but everybody's excited.
Yeah.
I get gig hangovers. You guys ever get like gig hangovers after the gig, like the next day, even if you're not drinking? It's like I have trouble sleeping, and it takes me like a day or two to recover because it's like it's crazy.
Yeah, after a year of not playing,
Yeah.
man, it was like it's wild. It's I mean you it's kind of you go I forgot I was old, you know.
Yeah.
And then you play a gig, and I mean, I haven't done a gig over an hour and a half for quite a while, on purpose.
Mhm.
And then this year, I've realized why. It's like an hour and a half, and yeah, there's a 2-day recovery period after that. Everything hurts.
I'm gig hungover right now.
Where'd you play last night?
It was just a friend's like birthday kind of deal up in Newport. It was like a block from Southgate, but
Yeah.
it was interesting. You know, sat my drums on some gravel instead of because somewhere during the pandemic I've lost every drum rug I own, but
Yeah.
but no, it worked out, and even those gigs.
I know it's
Or it's
crazy.
like not even that
It's
crazy.
crazy, man, because you get hyped up, and you get I don't know, you don't realize how much energy you're like dopamine or whatever you're producing in your body,
Yeah.
and then after the show, it's like, oh my god, I got to keep going. I don't know. I end up staring at the ceiling for a few hours myself, man. It's
Oh, dude,
yeah,
I can't even like. So you know, the past year I've been losing weight and everything else. So I lived in such excess back in the day that if my body needed anything, it would just kind of get it off the shelf. Now when I'm lacking, my body was just water, idiot. And,
yeah. That's the key, man. Water.
Yeah, I mean, and it's great just to like be playing for people like that are there. Like I did a show right when lockdown first started. I did a show on Facebook called Live in the Mandarin Room. I was just playing by myself, and me and my wife were trying to make it like a party because we were like, oh my god, nobody can see each other. Everybody's stuck inside.
Yeah.
So she would just stay
I
there.
watched a couple of those.
Yeah, she would stand there and see who's on, like who had joined us and everything, and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, cheers to them and
Yeah.
much love and all that, And so and then she went back to work before I did. So then I started doing it by myself, and it was just me in my apartment with my phone, being like, "I hope it's working." Like I can't see if it is or not.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't see who's with us, but thanks for watching. If you're there, I don't know. Like.
Yeah.
But it was so weird to just be playing for a phone, like,
It is bizarre.
Yeah,
Right?
and like
You're not really
yeah.
sure what's going on. It's crazy.
Yeah, that whole Facebook Live, all that bullshit just sucked.
It was just so
I mean,
strange.
at first, what do you do?
Yeah.
So in my situation, we got this nice studio and everything, and my buddy Walfredo Reyes, drummer for Chicago, lives here, and so he was doing some recording with me, and we just decided we were going to make a little bubble, so it was just, him and my bass player and sort of their, girlfriends' wives and stuff. And so we did a lot of these Facebook Live. The first one we did was live, and then kind of watched it back later, and I'm like, why didn't we record this and mix it and, make everything sound good?
Yeah, we did the same
So-
deal, man. It's
So
like-
then we started we would record it, and we was live, but I would be able to go back and mix
fake
it.
live.
And if I half-stepped something, I could kind of, paste or something, so it wasn't,
Yeah.
terrible. But, it just was it's so not gratifying to do that.
Yeah.
You're playing
It
to a
was so weird,
phone
yeah.
or something. It's
Yeah.
like, what, is anyone... And then people aren't that interested. People really didn't watch it that much. It was
Yeah.
like
playing
at first they were, and
Right.
more and more, and then
All of a sudden it was
after
like
a few
3.
weeks, if you're doing it every week or something, it was just kind of like
Yeah,
you could
and it's
notice-
not the
yeah.
same thing.
And we're already sensitive beings as it is, so it's like you see 3 people watching, you're like, why the am I playing?
Yeah, and especially if you're listening to it through a phone or a little laptop or something like that, it's like, God.
Well, and it's weird too. It's like that whole thing where, like, I would have the phone set up in the same spot every time I do a sound check. Every time, same spot. It never moved, but it would always sound different. So it was just like I didn't change anything, and it still would sound different. So I'd do a sound check before each one. And I'd be like, "Why is that weird now?" Like,
Yeah.
I hope it sounds good to everyone. I would always say that. I'd be like, "Sorry if it does sound kind of weird." But
Hey.
I'm not gonna mix I'm not gonna go into.
It's
the
got to be
computer at all,
streaming stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it called for everyone to kind of step up what they were doing online. Like once you got into the process of if I got to do shows on Facebook Live or I got to go through that process, at least I'm getting better at recording myself, listening back, getting objective about it, and pushing that out.
Yeah.
And like when we did start touring again, on at least my end, like now we're recording all these shows and we're getting more of the quality content back from that. So like even if we have to go through it again, I got this body of content I've been sitting on that because we took a bad situation, you're trying to make the most of it, you end up, learning a lot about what your project needs to jump through some plateaus that you might be on,
Yeah, and people are much more honest online too.
For sure.
If they see you in person, they're always nice, but people tell you suck if you suck on the internet.
Oh, they'll log right into their troll account.
Oh yeah.
I had a guy comment on a post from 3 months ago yesterday telling me he didn't like my haircut. I was like, this was 3 months ago. My hair's different now, asshole.
Yeah.
But I didn't send him a pic. I didn't want to update it. That's his problem. I don't care.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you said, are you touring just with yourself or with a band or what?
So it was mainly with my trio. Like, we wanted to scale down as much as possible, but I didn't want to go out in situations and not be able to give people a full band experience like the first time they're seeing a show again.
Gotcha.
'Cause I thought that was a really special thing. Like, if you miss live music, if you know that about yourself, and this is your first show back, and I'm the one that's playing for you, like, that's a call to step up a little bit.
Yeah.
And you get to make a quality fan out of an experience like that,
man.
for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. Because I've only seen you play by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is amazing, by the way.
Thanks, man.
What about you, brother, man? You're out with the Ramblers or what?
I am, man. It got nuts this year. Well, it started getting nuts last year. And I think when we did the show last year, when Noah and I were here, we had, I think, maybe a couple singles that had been out on the radio and stuff. But as of June 21, we had hit 1 million streams total.
That's awesome.
In July, we hit 500,000 streams on one song, and we're averaging no less than 50,000 a week right now.
And you said that band doesn't tour, right?
We're out now.
Okay.
We're doing the bus tour thing. We went out with Travis Tritt, some guys from Nashville, Tim Montana, and the Shrednecks.
Yeah.
We've got a couple shows with Chris Jansen.
Is it like East Coast
another
stuff?
few. No, a lot of it's around here. We're doing some Ohio stuff. We did Dayton, Ohio. We did Lake of the Ozarks. We did somewhere close to Tiffin, Ohio.
Cool.
Because when we were booking the stuff, Ohio was one of the first states to say we're going to have music. I don't know how I got lucky enough to live in Ohio and have that be a part of my career, but it worked out because we kind of got a head start on booking gigs and stuff. But we just did a country concert up in Fort Loramie. I think Jason Aldean was there and Alan Jackson was there and some big names, man. And we're really we're getting out there and
That's
doing
awesome.
it, so
That's great.
it's
Are you still playing with Noah or not?
yeah. I mean, I'm always going to have my thing.
Yeah.
I kind of explain, like, I'm a hillbilly. Like, that's a basis of, if you know nothing about me, I'm a hillbilly. And hillbillies are sort of the cockroaches of humanity. We'll survive anything. We're going to be there.
That being said, you had like the most successful COVID show of anybody I know, by the way. That thing that you guys did.
We sold
at
out.
the River's Edge.
Yeah.
That was killer.
We sold out. Noah and I did that together, and being a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, and then Kenny Wayne Shepherd was the first guitar player I would listen to. I was 11 years old and wouldn't listen to anything that wasn't Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I found Chris Duarte, and he had just done the Texas Sugar Strat Magic record, which was just the greatest Strat tone ever. And then I got into Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and we found out Noah lived in Cincinnati, and I was from Middletown. I was like, we got to figure out a way to get hooked up with this guy, and eventually we got in a band together. And
That's cool. So you didn't know him like in the band before? Kenny?
No, I met him at the Cammy Awards one year.
Gotcha.
I think it was 2001. I think I met him, and then didn't see him, didn't hear from him, didn't know anything other than what he was doing with Kenny Wayne Shepherd until 2007. And we got together, we jammed 3 songs, just kind of like getting together.
That's
And
badass.
came over and he put his arm around me. He goes, "Hey, man," which is my favorite way that Noah ever starts a sentence. 'Cause you know it's about to happen. "Hey, man." And then they asked if I would join the band, the 420 All Stars.
Yeah.
Who were Uncle Six before that.
Yeah. I remember seeing those guys.
So yeah, man. So about 14, 15 years now we've been
I had
playing
no
together.
idea you guys were playing that long together. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
2007 was right around Thanksgiving of 07.
I still remember when Kenny came to the store with his dad.
Yeah.
That's how old I am. Oh man. Well, that's freaking awesome.
So yeah, we're
Yeah.
doing our thing, man, and like I said, I mean, my band's not going anywhere. Eventually we're hoping to tie in doing some shows where my band may even open for the Ramblers at some point. So I'll always be doing something.
But that's not the Scotty Bratcher band, right?
That is, yeah.
That
The
is the
Scotty
Scotty-
Bratcher band would be,
With
potentially opening. We might sneak him in if
Gotcha.
he's close by.
Yeah.
Noah and I we get together every chance we can.
Well, that's
He's
cool,
one of my
man.
favorite singers ever.
Well, you guys are always spectacular, man.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
And I was just
Love
thinking while we're sitting here, we have multiple sound guys in here with us, and people that play shows like as a band by themselves.
That's right.
Like three, like you just play guitar, right? You never play the drums, do you?
I'll do like the looper thing.
Yeah, well,
I'm
you
like-
guys are both looper guys.
Yeah.
Rob is
I'm
notorious.
ADHD. Out the wazoo.
Yeah, and you guys are both sound guys. Dudley's a sound guy, has his own studio, badass studio.
Yeah.
I've had to be an engineer.
Yeah, man.
I can do that trick where it makes it look like you're pulling your thumb apart.
Does anybody else though like almost like get mad when like you get known as a good live tech and then or a good live engineer and then so suddenly you're running sound for the gigs you want to play?
Oh, dude, I
No,
know.
You gotta hinder yourself.
no, my tinnitus is terrible. I full on, phone plug it. Just have to.
Maybe my music just sucks.
Well, guys, I can't wait to hear all of you guys, man. It's going to be great. And we got Jim's up next. We got the guitars picked out. Going to have some good time. Janelle, what coffee we got today? This is badass.
We're drinking 319 coffee.
319.
They're dedicated to making great tasting coffee and actually give back to the communities where they outsource their coffee.
Yeah, and I believe it's organic too. What do you guys think about this coffee?
Very good.
Yeah.
It
Matter of
is.
fact, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get some more. We'll be right back.
Visit Mike's Music Productions at the Village Sight Sound and Stage in Covington, Kentucky's historic Mainstrasse Village. Allow us to help you create your audio and video productions. Analog and digital audio production.
What do you think of that hall sound, Billy? Big and bouncy.
Our large facility features a spacious layout with multiple rooms for audio and video, including large recording spaces, ISO booths, and a green screen area. The stage theater room can accommodate a small orchestra or audience events, such as live band performances and TV shows. Complete video production. Our production house has a wide variety of high-quality audio and video recording and production equipment, state-of-the-art vintage audio gear, many specialty microphones, mic pre's, analog or digital signal processing, and the availability of many high-end vintage guitars, amps, and effects pedals. These combine to make the Village a one-of-a-kind experience with a great vibe. Live concerts. The staff at the Village is totally ready to assist you with all your production needs. Our crew of multi-talented producers, directors, and engineers can take your project to full completion. Whether you need a basic quality capture, a full backup band, or a complete video production. Come create with us at the Village.
Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Coffee's kicking in.
Let's say what was in the cup.
Just wake you guys back up. We got Jim's on a really cool 1962 Birdland. Yeah,
It's beautiful.
because he's such a Nugent fan. Or who else played a Birdland? Elton, who else played a Birdland?
Ted Nugent.
I already said that.
What was other personality?
Had me a jazz guy.
tomorrow after the show.
Jim's, yeah. But yeah, that's a cool guitar, man. I just got that guitar.
beautiful.
It's the guitar that I didn't think you would pick, and that's what happens. I'll bring all these guitars, and I think I got you guys figured out, and it never usually happens.
I just love the hollow bodies. They're like semi-hollow. It's just got that kind of big sound to it.
Big growl.
Yeah.
Those guitars are 3/4 too, so
Right.
they're different than 3/4 scale length.
In my bands before, I always would play on my Gibson ES335, 1972.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And but I haven't gotten to play anything but an acoustic guitar for a while, because when I went solo, I started playing acoustic guitar while looping beats on it, and I just make a beat on it and just start looping it. And now I have like a full band with it, and I'm used to playing with either full bands or just the acoustic guitar. So immediately when I saw this, I was like, this kind of reminded me a little bit of it. And wanted to get back to the electric like that. And so, I was pretty excited when I saw it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I initially brought, hey, Elton, grab that Junior. I brought a Junior for you.
Right.
Well, the truth is, I actually brought it for Ricky. Ricky Rat was going to be on the show, and the tour ate him, so he couldn't make it. But he's going to be on the next one, and we had communicated, and he's a Junior freak. He loves Juniors, so.
Yeah.
But then when I saw what you were wearing, I was like, man. But you picked that guitar, which is even cooler, man.
Yeah, and I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I just like this is the kind of thing I would have picked up in your shop. Just a jam on.
Yeah.
And and it sounds great.
So tell us about the tune you're gonna play.
Yeah, so I got a new album coming out with my boys. It's called Sentimental Health, and this is a song off of it called Coming Home. And it's about like touring, missing your significant others, missing your hometown. And and I was gonna say, I know we're all musicians here, and will you guys be my loop station and just play "We Will Rock You" basically, and just keep that going. And it's gonna change up in the chorus, but it'll.
Why don't you do like a Spoons thing with your rings, man? Just like Mr. Spoons.
Take my middle one.
Yeah, Rob. See, Rob is one of my close friends.
I'm glad I stole one of his rings.
Yeah, there you go. We went to Southgate House Revival together. So I was counting on him to get that extra one. I know he's got some good percussion skills. All right, let's do it.
Northwest haze, walking toward the bay, and my cold black leather fends me from the rain. Place by place, start to look the same, till there's no side better than the one you claim. I've been away long, and my soul it takes from within. I'm coming home with a face I've never known. Set stakes, expect nothing at all, except a low sunsetter and Luna to enthrall. Place by place, start to look the same, till there's no side better than the one you claim. I've been awake long, and my soul it takes from within. I'm coming home through a face I've never known. Don't you know I'm coming home? Don't you know I'm coming home? Don't you know I'm coming home? Don't you know
amazing, man.
The record comes out August 27th on Iron Fest Records. John Gerhardt has been so amazing. Iron Fest has always been like one of the greatest festivals in my opinion, and such a great dude. And he's putting out our record. His new record label, Iron Fest Records.
That's great.
We're very excited. Sentimental Health.
He is
August
a great
27th.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when is the show?
We're playing at
The release show?
the Southgate House Revival on August 27th.
Cool.
It'll be Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
We're so excited to be back out at.
Yeah.
You know.
It's awesome to hear you in this version of you.
Yeah.
Because we play in Earl Diamond together, and we're like the rhythm section.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So
Yeah.
I know Jim's an amazing singer. He always takes the high harmonies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was always great. It was be like,
So-
I'll just take that.
Dude,
that high
man.
harmony.
I watched your live streams, and it's great to see you live again like this. It's really cool.
So great to be back.
Who else is on the release show? Who are you playing with?
So Calumet, really good friends of ours. Amazing band.
Amazing band. They
I've
were
been playing
here. They
shows
were
with
great.
Jacob Tippy for a
Yeah.
very, very long time. I consider them, like not only some of my best friends, but like a brother band. I feel like I was telling Jake, I was like, it wouldn't be a release show if one of his bands wasn't on it. Like most
He's
of my
so
release shows,
good.
I've
Yeah.
always had. Yeah,
I
them
think he was on
always.
episode 5 or something.
Yeah.
Jacob's on.
Yeah.
His song.
No, I've never changed a person's mind by insulting their intelligence. No, I've never shouted someone down and gotten anything but strong defense.
Show.
So it's Calumet, and what's the other band?
Calumet and Terror at Midnight.
Terror at Midnight.
Jacob is such
it's kinda
a
new.
Terror Midnight's so
It's
entertaining.
amazing. It's so great, right?
I love Alex. I used to print T-shirts with Alex in this shop.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It was for the Creation Museum. Usually, it was like their biggest
Oh,
client.
wow.
So there were some strange shirts sometimes. That was like having me, of all people, make their shirts. It was kind of a oxymoronic.
Well,
that's
Alex Duckworth, he's he's also in Newport Secret Six.
Yeah.
It's a ska band around here, and they've been together for a long time. And him and his brother Jay are also in that group. And he just started a solo project just like not even 2 years ago, I want to say. And it's great. And Rob, you've seen it. Like it's just it's like funny and sad and everything in between.
Happy and sad sounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, dude, you sounded great on this guitar. I bet you that was the first time anything like that was ever played on this this Birdland. But yeah, man, it sounded killer.
Yeah.
And
Thank you. Thanks for having
really,
me.
really good, dude. Really good. This is sort of a rare guitar. This is a 62, the last of the PAF ones. It has one PAF and one not PAF. And for people who don't know, that means patent applied for. Sort of famous pickups. This is a transition one. So it really is a PAF with just a different sticker on it. But it's
Did
blonde.
they ever get the patent?
They did.
They did.
Yeah, that's what they changed was the sticker. They changed it from patent applied for to what they call patent numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like it has the numbers on there. And we'll fly that in the Buzzatron. And this is a blonde winter natural, which is, I would say, fairly rare for Gibson guitars. I don't know how many they made of Birdlands, but I mean, you do see Birdlands.
You remember the one that was all white and it said Great White Buffalo on it?
I do.
How many of those did they
I don't
make?
think that was original.
You were talking about it being shorter scale.
Yeah.
And I found out what shorter scale was on accident.
Oh, yeah.
I sat in with Stacy Mitchart.
Ah.
I'd played a 335 for years. He plays a casino.
Ah.
So, he's like, well, what are we going to play? I said, do slow blues in A, until I found out A barely exists on a short scale guitar. It ends about right here.
Yeah. Yeah, so 350Ts and Birdlands are the same guitars. The only difference is this is a spruce top, and the 350T is a maple top. Like the whole guitar is like this, which is maple. These guitars were interesting guitars because obviously they were meant for sort of like jazz crossover, I don't know, rockabilly type bands or in that vein, I would think. But they ended up sort of being like rock guitars more than I think they were intended for. And the pickup placement, because of the scale length, is interesting. It's not really as close to the neck as a lot of guitars.
I noticed that.
Yeah, it's not quite as bassy either. And, both of these pickups are pretty far up, considering, a lot of jazz boxes.
Does this float like it does on a Gretsch, or is that anchored?
It does, and, this is a fully hollow guitar. It's not like a semi-hollow. There's no block through it. And, this is a guitar that I always wanted. I ended up getting it from you. It has what they call a stinger on the back. And I've been looking for one for a while. This one walked in the store, and now it's mine.
They always tend to do that with you.
Yeah, not all of them, but this is the tortoise guard that these things gas. Often they'll turn to dust and they'll break and stuff. This is original with this gasket. They did that randomly in Gibson World. Obviously the Birdland has this fancy Birdland trapeze tailpiece. And yeah, man, it was cool. I thought it sounded good.
Yeah, and you mentioned Gretsch. I always, I'm a humongous fan of the Monkees. And Mike Nesmith always would play that Gretsch. I always loved that. And, I think that's why I always go toward those guitars.
Yeah, you sounded great on it. Where can people get your record, man?
So it'll be Iron Fist Records has like a store envy, and it'll be like on online, and we'll also be putting it on like streaming sites as well.
Okay. Do you have a Jim's website, or can they get it on Facebook or anything?
Yeah, Facebook and and
cool.
Instagram, all of that. Yeah.
Well,
so Jim's Mandarinian.
Cool. And we'll be up next. Matt will entertain us with an awesome tune.
Get cash today for your vintage instrument. Mike's Music is always seeking to buy fine vintage instruments. Mike's Music, 2615 Vine Street in Clifton, is one of the world's premier vintage instrument dealers. We service collectors and professional musicians worldwide. We also repair and restore instruments. Get top dollar for your vintage instrument today. Call Mike's Music now, 513-281-4900.
Yeah! Yeah!
God's gonna be feeling weird. All right.
There might have been something else in that besides coffee.
Family-friendly programming. I like it.
Hey, Matt, you got a cool guitar and you're ready to sing us a great song.
Man, I am. The first time I walked in one of your stores, I found, I think, a 41 like this. And I had just written this song, and it's something that I always like to dedicate to people that you love from a distance, because sometimes a song fits where the words just don't seem to come. You can't really express certain feelings to people, but the song kind of gets you there.
So this is to the guitar?
Well, I think the guitar has something special to tell me without saying a damn word. You know what I mean?
Cool.
That one's same for me, and if you're hearing that's fine. Cause I'm so afraid that there's nothing on your end of the line. And if you got something to say, baby, speak your mind. Cause it's hard for me to understand, but Lord knows I'm trying. Cause your baby on your side of the phone is the only reason I'm not alone. And the few words that you live by keeps me company up in the night. Cause your baby on your side of the phone. Will you sing for me, or will you keep acting shy? Cause I wanna hear you speak, but you keep your lips sealed so tight. And if you got something to say, baby, speak your mind. Cause it's time for me to understand, but Lord knows I'm trying. Cause you're breathing on the side of the phone is the only reason I'm not alone. When the few words that you live by keeps me company up in the night. Cause you're breathing on on your side of the phone. Hush, don't say a word. I'm not asking you to change. I'm just telling you I'm here to hear anything that you gotta say. So if your lips break free and some words escape, and I promise your mind's gonna keep you safe. Cause you're breathing on your side of the phone. That's the only reason I'm not alone. You're touching everybody, keeps me company up in the night. Cause you're breathing on your side of the phone. Cause you're breathing on your side. I can hear you, baby.
Yeah. Great job, brother. So good.
I really like the way you put the G sharp diminished to go down to G, but then you also use it later to go up to A.
It's just the right amount
That's
of
very
tension.
clever.
But that's all I got in my vocabulary, man. I got 1/2 diminished chords. I put it everywhere.
Up
It's
and
nice.
down.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
But man, that thing just plays back. Like I was saying before, it's a living room guitar. You sit it there, it just writes songs.
Yeah.
For you like that, man.
You sounded great.
It's too early to have your pipes that warmed up, man. What are you doing?
I'm here to scream. This is my voice for tonight.
I don't know if this show's monetized yet, so I'll just F you. That's the way I'll say it. And I mean that with all respect.
You know, it was all actually first time I heard you play, maybe second time. We played after him at the Creamy Circus, and I was like, "Oh God, great!
Yeah,
thanks, Noah."
You killed it. It's great to get on a round like that. We really don't know the other artists, so it's a chance just to go back and forth. It's like you got 15, 20 tunes you can pick from. What are they going to tell me to play from their song? You know? What I mean?
Man. Well, once again, amazing.
Thanks,
So,
man.
it was so
Nicely
good.
done.
So
That was
good,
great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, this guitar that you played was a 1969 D41. Yeah. And it's Brazilian rosewood. I probably should have cleaned it. It's kind of blurry, but very clean guitar that I bought from the original owner at a guitar show about 6 months ago. And it's one of 25 in Brazilian. It's the first year, and only I think 2/3 of the first year is Brazilian. All original guitar. It's got really low action. I thought it played really, really good. Abalone inlays. The difference between a 41, a 42, and a 45 is just the amount of pearl inlay or abalone inlay.
And money.
Yeah. But actually, because this is such a rare guitar, and there's very few of them in Brazilian, this is a pretty expensive guitar too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And, from the top, they're very similar. D45 has the inlay going this way and across the bottom of the neck, but the front is pretty much the same. This pickguard had shrunken a little bit. I had to have it fixed, which is very typical for these. When they first start doing the black guards, they shrink a lot.
The minute you take them off, too, if you have to do any work, they just...
Yeah. A lot of times they are removed and replaced. We had a D45 on, a 68 D45 that I think... Who played the D45, Elton? Was it Drew?
Yes.
Drew Lanus played it, yeah. And I actually think this guitar sounds a little bit better for some reason. It weighs like nothing. Check that out, Scotty.
Wow.
I mean, for a dreadnought, I mean, I think that weighs like 6 pounds or something, 7 maybe. It's like,
I'd say closer to 6 if I was guessing.
It's crazy. A lot of times the guitars, and the D28s and the Martins through the 50s and 60s are kind of heavy, but this is the last of Brazilian rosewood, and often it's like super figured. I don't know why. This one's pretty straight, just like an older one would be. But yeah, man, it sounded good. Yeah. Where can we get your stuff, man?
So I'm on all the streaming services. I'm getting ready to put out my first batch, like self-produced, self-recorded tunes. That,
Oh, yeah?
You know, I think the pandemic gave me the kick in the ass I needed to get into that. So it feels great. I feel like I found like a new level of knowing my sound from doing that. So I got music coming out probably in the next 2 months. I just put out the first single of this batch called Colorful. We got a video coming out for it at the end of the month as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you mixed it all in your house?
Yeah, mixed it all in my house. I sent it off. A guy named Toby Donahue was helping me out with some of the production, the mastering at the end.
Oh, that's cool.
But and then we just got a show in Cincinnati. I'm very excited about Funksgiving with Freak Bass.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be at the Ludlow Garage.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, hopefully we got some new funk tunes out by
Yeah,
then.
that's great, man.
All right.
Yeah, that's cool. You sound killer.
Thanks, brother.
Really, really good, man. And thanks for coming. Looking forward to having you up next, Dudley. Hell yeah! Crank it up! Yeah, big holler! Hell yeah!
Satellite radio plays the memories that we'll have when we get old.
Dan Ryan in the house!
Yes?
Hell yeah, he's got pants on!
A sea of souls. I look across a crowded room. I see just you. Part of him will always be there. A nearly perfect record. A secret identity.
Yeah! Yeah!
To get up in the morning and play
Yeah.
guitar in front of other guitar players, looking at me going,
Well, this is actually the latest we've ever filmed, by the way. Because we changed it for Ricky since he was on tour and he was going to come down from like somewhere in Detroit or something. So we usually start at 10, so
Well, I
even
think
earlier.
yeah, normally that would be fine for me, but I was jamming with Johnny Fink last night at Mansion Hill, and
Yeah.
and I went to dinner and they were having like tequila and taco night. So unfortunately,
That sounds scary.
I front loaded with a bunch of tequila last night.
Ah, gotcha, yeah.
So drank a bunch of water.
Well, appreciate you coming, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, I mean, people have been known to keep drinking on the show. It's not always coffee in these things. Yeah, and some people stay up all night. When Erin Coburn was on the show, she had prom the night before, and she showed up in her prom dress. Yeah, she stayed up all night. So.
Well, I'm back at
appreciate
Southgate
you.
now, so it's like
there you go.
we're there till 3 a.m.
Yeah,
And I don't even freaking drink. Just me playing with garbage and taking it out.
That's cool.
Yes.
What are you gonna do for us, Dudley?
Well, I got a little song. It's one of my go-tos when it's like you play one of your songs,
Yeah.
So this is called "Death" by Bliss,
Okay.
and I just kind of wanted to explore, what it's like, bliss, sort of, the good part of bliss and the bad part of bliss, and I will mention quickly that my mother died of Alzheimer's, and I just couldn't come to write the third verse, which was going to be, because she just kind of mentally you just slowly leave the building.
Mine did too.
And But anyway, I came up with this. Light is a feather, but strong as the wind. She plays my heart like a violin. Cool as the winter, but hot like the sun. but hungry and drowning in money. Life is funny from so far above, but see how the light shines in the darkness. Demons and angels give us heaven and hell, and a long, slow death by bliss. I want a long, slow death by bliss. Yeah. When it's my time, well, I will rise and I'll float away. I'll float away above the skies. Yeah. I want a long, slow death by bliss. I want a long, slow death by bliss.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah.
Hey, keep the mistake in there.
Oh yeah, we will.
That's how it works.
We'll just bleep it.
I was trying to go like that. Oh yeah. See, I figured that out this morning.
Makes it interesting,
Where I
man.
shouldn't have.
Yeah, it's like those old Dylan albums where they just kept rolling no matter what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, go to the 4. Wait, what?
Sounded cool, man. I really dug it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks
When
a
did you write that song?
Oh, a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's on like 2 or 3 albums ago.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Oh, that's cool. How many have you done now?
I've done 7 studio albums after I started my own thing. Because when I was
Yeah.
younger, I was always a guitar player
Yeah.
in the band, which was cool. But then the bands would always go away. You know? And I'm like, man, I don't want to keep starting over. So
Oh,
I'm just,
God, I know
it's
what you
just,
mean.
it's just. I called it blues overkill at first because I wanted people to know that
Yeah.
that it was rock.
Yes.
But you know, I'm in this enviable position where it's not really blues and it's not really rock.
Yeah.
It's a cool place to be.
It's
Yeah,
it's a funny little niche because you know, like there's blues societies all over the place, you know, and
Yeah.
it's nice because there's a built-in audience and they want to hear, you know, they want to hear the new music and everything. But like you know, like I had a couple of songs on B.B. King's Bluesville, but they were definitely blues tunes, you know. But most of
Yeah.
the stuff that I write is not, you know, or it's bluesy. So I don't really, you know, I don't quite fit into the blues world. And then the guys that want rock, you know, it's all this modern stuff, and I
Yeah.
you know, it's just not me. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up on British Invasion and Southern rock, and then once I got older, I started peeling it back and realized, oh crap, man, dude, Muddy Waters? What?
I think
the
we've
heck?
all had the same
Johnny
journey,
Winter?
yeah.
Holy crap! Do you think there would have been the solos at the end of Free Bird if it wasn't for Johnny Winter? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, just insane. You know, I didn't even know who Freddie King was when I was a young, dumb 25-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, I listened to Stevie Ray Vaughan when I was
Sure.
younger, but I didn't know the
Well,
history.
you know, that stuff really never was on the radio. It's still not,
but I
really.
think that's why people still love it. They
Yeah.
didn't get burnt out on it. There was
Right.
never a time
It
where
wasn't
they
shoved
said,
down their throat.
you're not playing any more Stevie Ray Vaughan on the radio. There was never that point because it wasn't, you know, top 40.
Yeah.
At the time. Well, the Allman Brothers had one charted song, right?
Yeah.
Was Ramblin' Man? Was the
Well, I
only
mean,
chart-
like Muddy Waters and stuff like that.
well,
was never
yeah,
really on the
but
radio.
I think the key to that whole thing is people listened to it because they wanted to, not because it was forced on them.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at now with radio. I mean, not to be the pessimist, but I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
Who listens to radio?
I do.
I don't.
I do. I don't.
Is there something good?
No.
What do you listen to, like college radio? What do you listen to?
Then my favorite station is that one that plays static all the time. It's so much better than most of the stuff out there. But I think radio just forced things after a certain point down people's throat.
Oh, no.
You know, like you were talking about being in between. Think about the band, Levon Helm, Robert.
Yeah.
Where did they fit in? What kind
Nowhere.
of
They
band
were
are
on
they?
scene,
Exactly.
man.
They were played on everything. You know, they fit everywhere. But they also didn't have a pigeonholed crowd like.
And they didn't have like a super big hit song that they had to play every freaking time.
Yeah.
You know. There's a handful that I would
Sure.
But still, it wasn't like it wasn't a big deal. My first tour I was in a band called Sweetwater, and they put us on the road for 2 months before we went to record our first album, and we got to open for Winger. Now Winger was on their third album, all right, and talk about a band that had a lot of success that ended up biting them in the ass. They had a couple of big records, and then their third record, it's like Me and My Amigos Down Incognito, or it wasn't doing that well. So we would get our tour booklet. We'd be like, oh yeah, we're going to play someplace, holds 1,500 people. Well, oh, sorry, you guys, we're actually going to be in this bar over here. It kept downsizing, and I felt bad for these guys.
Sure.
But it was funny. One quick little image. So Reb Beach is a guitar player, and so you'd have like this contraption with 412 cabinets, right, in this like metal thing that they would just roll onto the stage instead of having to box up all 4 every time. So we're playing this bar, and they can't get this thing in through the side door of the stage, and that was just. I would just perfectly encapsulated what was happening to the band at that point. And, their stuff was good, and they were really good. And, Reb and I would hang out and play, guitar backstage and stuff.
Yeah.
And Kip was a sweetheart, and his
I
brother
know.
was
Those guys
really,
come in. They've been in here for
really
times.
nice dude.
Yeah,
So,
really nice,
they were great, but I just felt bad, because, and I'd rather be like Joe Bonamassa said one time, I don't want to be the biggest thing in the world. I just want to be climb up the hill a little bit on the side and have a career. And so that's what I'm doing.
Playing.
I'm still climbing up.
I think that's where
the hill.
they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think success is sort of that way too. Like what level of success? I would always hope that I would be able to leave my house and go live a life, and not be the biggest thing in the world. But then there's that level of you kind of got to be somewhat famous to get to the point where you're comfortable. So it's kind of a push and pull.
Oh, yeah, and the money thing has just been totally since streaming.
Yeah.
What people used to spend on albums and, maybe movie rentals, we pay for internet access now.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then people steal the music.
And they're like, well, why would I pay to hear it when I can just, listen to music on YouTube or, something like that. So
now we get pennies on the penny.
So my publishing royalty statements are 5 or 6 times as long, because of all the streaming services, and about 1/5 or 1/6 of the money.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was .0000015 cents. I didn't know that. Like,
it's just Abe Lincoln's time.
Have you ever got one of those checks? I got like a 25 once.
$25. It costs more to pay for the stamp and gas to get to the mailbox to mail it to me than it was worth.
Yeah,
it happens.
No doubt.
You sound a killer on that guitar. You were talking about you were talking about Stevie Ray Vaughan being everywhere, and it's not really Stevie, but I got so tired of hearing Strats, man. And I had to stop playing Strats for a long time. And I just got that guitar and had it refretted. And I've been using I played it out for first gig last week. And Dudley asked for something with some good frets. And it's probably the only guitar that I've refretted in my life. I refuse to refret, but they were so gone. I mean, like, they were just completely gone. But you sounded killer on it. And it really liked that AC30.
Yeah, it did.
Didn't it sound good?
Oh, is that what that is in there?
Yeah, it's a 63 AC30. Yeah.
Yeah, real bright.
Yeah.
just sound
Yeah,
good, baby.
I'm starting to fall in love again.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a Strat, like, you know. Just that neck pickup and just the way it sounds can be all chunky.
Yeah.
No guitar sounds like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think what turned me off was just the lead pickups are sometimes anemic. Cause I'm used to Esquires and they're more like Juniors where my Esquire screams. It's like so loud. But that one's got that one's nice and hot.
I don't ever use that unless I'm going, and it's because I watch Stevie Ray Vaughan so much. But I use that back pickup if I go to bend a note like a high note. I will flip it to the back pickup, bend the note, let it ring, and then get right back to the front.
Oh, really? You use the neck
you
or
mean
like
this one? You mean that pickup?
The back,
one?
top,
the
top,
out of
bottom,
phase.
low, high E. I get all kinds of the bridge pickup. Yeah.
There probably. Because this has a 5-way in it. This originally would have had a 3-way.
Yeah.
See, that's the out of. Yeah. Yeah.
Just like that. Just like that. You know, throw it way back so you get the high end and you get those high notes, but then go right back to the neck pickup because it's like you said, there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
That's what I've always
I always, and because of noise, I always replace this pickup with a humbucker, so it doesn't look like it, but there's 2 coils in one.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so it takes a little bit of the shrill high out, which you maybe miss a little bit when you're in this position with these two, but it's much friendlier when you're if you gotta play some rock and roll,
Yeah. You're the only guitar player, right? See, I play in a band where the guy plays a Trini Lopez, and I'm the Fender guy.
Yeah.
So there's already somebody playing PAFs in that band.
Yeah.
So, but that's cool, man. It sounded good. Let me see this guitar for a second. This is probably a really late '57 because you see the red.
I was gonna ask you about that.
So I don't remember the date, but it's got to be like 1257 or something because it's skinny neck like a 58, sort of a 58 color.
Yeah.
And this guitar is all original. I think I put like reissue tuners on it, but I have the tuners. Had it refretted.
Is it a 1-piece body? No, it's 3-piece. Is it a 3-piece?
It's just 2. I think it's seamed right here. Okay. Typically they're 2. You don't really see 3 too often.
Yeah, I have an early 80s vintage reissue that's 3-piece.
Yeah.
And the body's just terrible. The neck is amazing on it.
Is it
bought
painted or
body.
is it sunburst? Or?
It's sunburst.
Yeah. Yeah, well, something about this guitar, I think just because it was played to death made me fall in love with it.
Yeah. That's been my theory forever. If a guitar is beat up, it's been played because it sounds good.
And it sounded good even with the frets that weren't non-existent.
Well, you can tell by the wear on the fretboard. He didn't play a lot of bluegrass.
Yeah, exactly. And it's strange though for me to play a guitar that's refretted because I can't start the show with this because then when I go to the Esquire with the original frets, I can't play it as well.
Yeah.
So it's weird, It's just I'm used to fretless guitars almost,
God, I can't stand that. I need big frets, man, or I can't.
If you get used to it, it's just whatever you're used to.
Yeah. I bought a Duesenberg, the other day. It's brand new, just kind of always wanted one, and so I got it, and the frets are so tiny, I can't even.
That's weird that they would make a new guitar like that.
Well,
how do these feel to you?
Feel pretty good.
Because these are the same
6105s.
Yeah, these are the same size frets, just a little taller than the normal ones would be.
Yeah, I like the 61 or the whatever the fattest big.
And I had them dressed. I mean, this guitar's got a pretty big radius too. I took the frets pretty far to the side because bending sometimes they'll pop off. Strats always do that because the radius.
Well, yeah, I did that playing this thing because the strings are so light.
Oh, these are 10s. 10 to 46, or
I like the 52 on the bottom. I push.
Skinny top, heavy bottom.
Yeah, this guitar would probably be better that way. You're right. But man, you sounded great, dude. Where can we get your stuff?
Well, I'm on every streaming service, but you can get my CDs. I don't know, where am I looking? You can get my CDs from my website for cheaper than Amazon. Plus, when you get the CD, you get a 12-page booklet with all the lyrics and stuff in there.
Hell yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then you could take the actual CD and you put it on a nice table, and then when you have a drink that's sweating, you put it on that, And so it keeps your table from getting rings.
Yeah,
on it.
that's important.
So that's what you can do with the CD.
You guys some of you guys are really young, but I still remember, like, going to the record shop. Della, you might remember this, and like reading, like on the way home, like reading every word in the album and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
those were the days, man.
Yeah, the gatefold.
Yeah.
The album release is actually like they have like cardboard stand-ups like for these certain releases that were like big deals. They'd have their own section of the record store.
Oh, I know. Yeah, those were the days. But sounded killer, man. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
We got Rob up next. Yeah.
A monkey has a tail and apes don't have tails.
I'm on the wrong side of the glass.
Yes, October 25th, my birthday. So.
That'd be like a birthday suit? No.
That would be a show right there.
Does your heart still pound?
I'm so glad you made it.
I did. It's early, but
I think you have the most in tune instrument, weirdly enough. So.
And to me, this is just like a deco masterpiece, made in the 30s. Just the top of the line of handcrafted guitars.
California!
Yeah, isn't it awesome? That's the name of it.
Hey, bud. Hi.
Early style thin neck for sure. Is that a straw?
It's a cigarette holder. Here we are, sunny San Rafael.
We're back on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo!
Did we get a hoot and holler that one?
Yeah. Woo! Can I get some more of this 319? I shouldn't be drinking all this coffee, but whatever.
You have to fill in for William since
That's right.
You have to drink too much coffee.
He really does, man. He gives us a whole pot. That's good. I'll take it to chai.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. You're doing pretty good too, Scotty.
Thank you. Well,
yeah, you're
man,
keeping up, man.
It's the chair. I really wanted to wear my Dan Rather suit.
Yeah, well,
co-host, man. I'm like second in command. Y'all do everything I say.
You didn't interrupt me enough, though, man. You should have.
Nah, man, you outshone me. Like Western shirt, better hat.
Yeah, buddy. I almost wore a hat today. I've been looking for a reason to wear a hat. I know Scotty's going to wear his hat.
I got a bunch of them, man.
Yeah, I need to get you a new feather, buddy. Your feather's looking pretty shy.
this is what happens when. This is why I hate cats.
Did you roll around on the ground?
I don't have any cats, but I walked. I was at somebody's house, and my hat was on the countertop, and I walk in. There's this cat playing with it, and it came out looking like a toothpick.
So that's okay.
But I've got another one that's got a big treated rose on it.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think I had it when I did your other show, and I've got another one with the turkey feather in it. And the turkey feather's totally cool. They're like bulletproof.
I've got one too.
Around Thanksgiving time. And but yeah, this one's seen it today.
So I have a hat just like that. It's sort of like a Billy Jack style hat without the top being tucked down, and it was all dirty and nasty and super cool. I liked it that way because it looked like it had been in a barn for like 20 years and it was like perfect. And I came off the set and left it on my amp, and this chick grabbed it and she like formed it. She poked in the top, like cleaned it all up. She's like, cleaned your hat and formed it for you. I was like, oh, great.
Get out.
She made it look like, brand new.
It's funny, people without hats are funny about hats.
Just that statement right there is funny.
That's the title of the show right there.
Yep. I made it this time. I thought my soap opera record last time would get it done, so I had to come back and get the title this time. Been working on my soap opera record, just Tim Wilson used to. You're not sleeping with Bill, are you? But I was talking to ZZ Top's tech one time about somebody had jumped on stage.
It was playing bass now, right?
Yeah, well, that's Elwood. This was Billy Hale. This was Elwood has been there forever, but Billy Hale. So he was telling me the night before I was hanging out with them that somebody had jumped on stage, like ran across the stage, and everybody, Dusty and Billy, like grabbed their hats. Like that's automatically the thing people go for. And I was like, that's weird. And then I started wearing hats. And it's the first thing people want. I never want to hit somebody ever at a show. I'll hit them other places, not at a show.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised at how many people come up like this and want to grab the hat. And it's like,
no one ever does that to me. I always wear that.
I mean, I came back and it's like my hat was a different hat. I was like, well, it's like, why would I would never dream of doing that.
Yeah.
Like picking up someone's hat, like punching
Especially
in the top.
going through all the trouble of getting the steam ready. You said they had to steam it.
Well, she just like brushed it off, It was just like, oh, it's crazy. Anyway. So thank you for wearing a hat today, Rob.
Right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, everywhere. If I go anywhere right now, it's like the hair and everything's every time. Hey, it's Waylon Jennings. Every time, Waylon Jennings jokes. Everywhere I go. I was like, I need a not black.
So what's it like to show your face at shows, man? Do people still say, wear the mask?
Oh, the entire punk scene is furious with me.
You're like Dylan when he went electric.
Yeah, Mike Ingram at the Southgate show, the first one I played acoustic under the name Dead Band String Band, but no mask, and he yelled Judas from the soundboard.
Wow. Well, I think it's cool. I'm digging the full band thing.
Oh yeah,
it's really good, and you have different people set in, so you guys get a chance, man. Go check them out.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I'm happy now. So it's a big difference.
Yeah, you're allowed to be happy, dude.
Yeah, those last 2 years of that mask, dude. I did not want to do it anymore.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And then they made you wear one.
Right.
Just get out of this.
Yeah. It's like you're a wrestler, man, and you got stuck in that.
My friends said, a couple of my friends were like, dude, you're the most wrestling-centric musician in Cincinnati. Because all the theatrics that went into my shows back in the day were just creating some weird storyline, that fake drama. Stuff
How
like
long
that.
did it take you to be able to, like, play guitar and drums at the same time like that? Did you really have to practice that, or was it like...
It was kind of an accident. Like, the Dead Man String Band was actually a string band. And right before the first show, the band kind of...
Oh, it was like member band. Okay.
Yeah, and then the band kind of disformed right before the first show, and so I just showed up with a kick drum. Figured it out from there, breaking things and not breaking things. Then slowly added the snare drum, then the hi-hat. And then one day I was playing at the Springwater Supper Club in Nashville, and I had a double lefty pedal on my snare drum, just so I could do some like roll type things, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, just during one of the songs, I'm like doing this, and my left foot started playing the hi-hat, my right foot started doing the kick and the snare. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that now. So I immediately went home and
it's really
stayed in
impressive.
my house for a
and I
week or
remember
two.
watching you, like, I remember seeing one of your first shows like that, and then a year later you were like so much better, man. I thought this dude's busting his ass.
Oh yeah, that mask, when I would take it off, you could just pour it out.
That's some pro wrestler shit.
Yeah.
Mankind, man.
Yeah.
Oh dude, yeah, I beat myself up and I beat my gear up for a few years.
So usually I don't know what people are going to play, but I do, and I sort of requested this song since we're at the foothills of the Prince Rich Bridge, his big new hit single.
Yeah, every time I play it now, the more I play it, the more people are, because they're living it.
It's a great song,
And
too.
it's a great song with a terrible bridge. About a terrible bridge. No, I can't toot my own horn ever. So I'm gonna take back that the song's great, but the song is, called Brent Spence Bridge because I'm the most creative guy ever.
Cincinnati town, there's a crossing that you should avoid. It should be feared by every man and woman and child, be a girl or boy. Well, it kill your daddy, your mama, and your pappy, and your grandma, your sisters too. Structural integrity important in the city, a new way that you gotta choose. Take the Big Mac Bridge down to 71, take the Clayway Bailey just for fun. Take the Roebling Bridge, have it sing to you pretty when it ain't closed down to be worked on, what a pity. Rusty crown, gonna fall down, it's the next big disaster in this town, and you're holding your breath. Cheating death when you're crossing the Brent Spence Bridge. Every day another truck's in flames and it's closed down for work again. And adding road rage to a drinking town is a spark to kindle in. And you can't turn on a game to ease away the pain, cause you lose every chance we take. It's a fatty blood clot in the main artery of the Midwest USA. So take the Big Mac Bridge down to 71, take the Clayway Bailey, but it ain't no fun. The Roebling Bridge closed down to the city. The big rigs away and it down, it's kinda shitty. It's a rusted crown in the Queen City town. Most hated thing here since my crown, and you're holding your breath. Cheating death when you're crossing the Brent Spence Bridge. Every single politician in my state says they're gonna make this the better byway. You ain't gonna fix it by making us pay for a toll road bridge with traffic every day. And all the red tape's gonna drive you insane when you only cross the river just to buy cocaine, and you're holding your breath. Cheating death when you're crossing the Brent Spence Bridge. When you're crossing the Brent Spence Bridge. When you're crossing the Brent Spence Bridge.
Hold your breath, cheating death.
Yeah.
Crossing the Brent Spence Bridge. That's pretty cool, man.
Thank you. I was actually nervous of being early. That's the most pitchy part of the whole song.
No, it sounded great. It sounded really good.
Yeah.
So you gonna do a video on the bridge?
My friends in the new, Jeff and Misty.
Yeah.
They were talking about we should get the drones and do something.
You should let me do a video, man. We could do fake jumping off the bridge or something. Throw a dummy off or something. Make it real cheesy.
I'm down. I don't say no to anything anymore, so I would for sure be down to do it. I know with the band it's going to be a little less finger picky. When I have the band, it's going to be more like that New Orleans type.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that kind of deal. But I'm excited about that.
Works just like that, man.
Dude,
Works.
that was killer. That was the perfect guitar for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Fan of
really
these
good. Yeah, this is a 1946 0018, which is the biggest size of the concert size guitars. There's an O, double O, and triple O. And I think now they might do a 4O. I don't really know the new models, but and this is what they call shaded top, which is Martin's attempt to do a Gibson sort of. I think they called it they had a different name for it on their list, dark top or something.
They didn't do it a lot though, did they?
No, super rare. Shaded tops are really rare. This is probably one of 5 in 1946.
Wow.
Yeah, and when they sell, they're a premium.
Yeah.
This guitar is probably double because of the finish. Yeah. And I just got it, and it's super cool. And you asked for an LO, and I was like, well, I have a very similar thing. 46 is one of my favorite years. It's when they first changed over to this style spruce. Still super light bracing. Check it out, Scotty. I mean, that might be one of the lightest acoustics I've ever had. Probably 4 or 5 pounds. It's crazy.
I'm always a fan of the smaller ones because they more direct.
Yeah.
I mean, how much does that matter with a pickup? But I just test drove that thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
And this is an 18. 18s are mahogany, as opposed to that 41, which is Brazilian rosewood. But I love mahogany guitars.
Yeah.
I just love the way they sound, even though it's a more inexpensive wood. It's nice and warm, and and the most expensive Gibsons were mahogany. I mean, bursts are mostly mahogany, and
when they get older. Like I've had my one built by James Zeiler, and it's triple O mahogany back and sides, spruce top.
Yeah.
And when it first started, it was very mid-range.
Yeah, very
heavy,
tight and poppy.
And all of a sudden, it just, as the years went on, the EQ it shifted.
It
And now
really
it's kinda
does
like
make a
that.
difference. I mean, people always ask me why are guitars so expensive, and there's a reason, man. I mean, people with ears, there's a reason why people pay more for guitars. It's not just the quality of the build, especially on acoustic instruments.
Yeah.
It really makes a huge difference if they've been played and used and dried out, that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, this is sort of like a dream guitar for me. I've never had a shaded top triple O before, and it's just cool. It sounded
Looks
good.
like the frets are big enough.
Yeah, you know what? This was a one owner. I bought it from the estate of the family, and it hadn't been played.
Yeah, the fretwear is like almost.
Yeah.
It's a little bit.
I had to close a couple little cracks on it, but otherwise it was like untouched. Somebody had put a strap button on the back of it, which I removed. But really very clean guitar from 1946. Yeah, I mean,
Sweet.
When we're this old, we're not gonna let this go, man.
Yeah, it's very cool. I love them. I absolutely love them. And I grew up watching the Eric Clapton MTV Unplugged, and then they came out with
28.
Yeah, and it was
OM28.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I look like Magilla Gorilla playing a guitar that size.
because it's too tiny for you.
Yeah, I love the shape though.
Yeah.
So I love a J200.
Right.
Because they look great, but I just feel like this. It's this little tiny thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird like that. I mean, like I'm sort of the opposite because short fat guys shouldn't play J200s. It just looks too weird. But I love those guitars.
Yeah.
They're actually probably my favorite guitar. You know what I mean?
I've been playing. I think it's an EC 85 or what. I don't know what it is, but it's got a single. It's the size of a J200, but it's a single cutaway with the big round cutaway.
It's a Martin?
No, it's a Gibson.
Okay.
But it's got we were talking about body woods. It's got an arched maple back.
Oh yeah, it's sort of like a guild or something.
So
Yeah.
not only do the woods make a difference, but like a arched back versus a flat,
Right.
makes a huge difference too.
And I think the thickness of the neck, that's one thing I've learned over having a lot of guitars in my life, is the thickness of the neck really makes a huge difference on tone. And I mean, this has a really kind of a giant, wide, thick neck on it. And it really makes a
But
difference on
it's
sustain.
It's V'd nicely.
It's V'd, but it's
comfortable.
also really thick. I mean, it still has that early style neck where they kind of get much thicker as you go towards the neck. But yeah, man, you sounded great, Rob.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I wrote that song before the trucks exploded.
Really?
And then the
Well,
trucks
it's been shitty
exploded.
for a long time.
The trucks. I wrote it was like a month before it happened, and then the trucks. I don't understand how two trucks collided and exploded at 3 a.m. But
Yeah.
and then I wrote the second verse.
So you had the first verse,
First
sitting,
chorus,
waiting.
and outro. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you, it's been an adventure for us because they had it closed down, and the other bridge, the Clayway Bailey, is the only way from Covington into Cincinnati. So everyone's going.
Yeah, 'cause the road lane's closed. We're like at 40% bridge capacity right now.
It's hard enough to park in Covington anyway, and that really didn't help when you knew you had to sit in traffic for half an hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been an adventure, man. So where can
Every
we
time
get?
something new happens, someone sends me a link, and I'm like, I'm not made of bridge songs.
Add another verse. I mean, you could do like a whole opera, rock opera of bridge tunes.
Just Cincinnati bridge tunes.
Yeah. So, other than TV and all the media attention you're getting, where can we get that song?
Spotify, I mean, pretty much any streaming service.
Yeah.
Like the original version, because when I wrote it, I rolled out of bed and was like, I gotta get this done and out.
Yeah. Is it on an album, or you just have it listed as a tune?
It will be. I'll be hitting, I have this record label actually like paying for me to go into the studio with studio band and
Wow,
fancy. Cut a 45. So they were like, that song goes on it though. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Sweet. So that'll be out whenever the world is able to get vinyl again.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of friends are like waiting.
Yeah.
Is there a big backlog now?
I had friends that were going to release stuff like next month, and they're like, "Oh, it's actually going to be December."
Mm-hmm.
Like
just in case things are shut down again or something.
No, they literally just don't have the.
It's all backed up.
It's all.
You know, like I mean,
you can't get anything pressed.
Yeah, I mean, it just like I mean, like they were even like we could have had our vinyl. Like I think originally it's supposed to be something like February, but you know, it's pushed back months and months.
Interesting.
Vinyl is like the best way for me to make money on the road.
Yeah.
CDs people still buy the CDs and shirts, but they love the vinyl records.
Well, you know, if you're gonna buy,
which blew me away. I had no idea, and it costs a bunch because I mostly tour in Europe, so I had to ship them over there. So it cost me about €10 for each. You know, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
You know, all the
which is like $15 or something.
The different mastering and it's like 12 or 13 bucks. Yeah, and but I can charge €25 for it and make €15, which is pretty good. And people just snap them up. You know, they're like something big to sign. And, you know, the format's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
it won't turn into a coaster.
And it won't turn into a coaster.
They'll take a record off and they'll go, this back sleeve. There, now it's good.
You know, plus if you're gonna buy a CD, it's not really that much graphic there, so you just buy the songs, put them on your phone. You know, so at least with an album, you get
people are dying to get physical things.
Right.
Now.
Yeah.
You know, cars don't have CD players in them, and that's why when you're asking if I listen to the radio, I have to because I haven't bought a car lately that's
my
got a
car's
CD
starting
player.
cassette players in them, man.
Well,
and 8-tracks.
I keep a hold of one of those in the driveway. I've got a couple, but people like going to a show and going home with something, and you can't, you know.
Yeah.
I almost feel, and I've never done it, but I would almost feel guilty sending somebody home with an Apple iTunes card.
I know, it's just not.
You know, it's awkward, and I've had people give me they look like a business card, but this little floppy thing comes out, and it's the end of a micro SD card. Mm-hmm. And so you can keep it in your wallet, which is cool and stuff, and it's a great way to pass them out. But, man, if I walked around, like, home from a show with a business card with a little thing dangling out of it, it would hurt my feelings. Like, I don't know what I paid for this, but it was too much. So CDs and vinyl, it's awesome that they're coming back.
Yeah, it is, really.
And, you know, vinyl, people will make time. Oh, I'm going to put this on. It's a whole dealio. It's not like, oh, put my phone, click this, and then I'm also looking at my laptop. It's like we're going down there. Which one? We're going to listen to the whole side, and and just they just sound great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Ain't no skip button.
Ain't no skip button.
Yeah.
Unless you walk across the floor a little too quick. And
or give it a good kick.
So everyone, please go out, buy these guys' material, support the bands. Thank you guys for coming, everyone. Thank you so much. Scotty,
hey man,
brother, appreciate it
good
so
to
much.
Be back.
Filling in. Best wishes to William. Hope everything's going good, and love you, brother, and see you next time. I just want to say that we are looking for sponsors. Please come out and join the show and buzz with us. Coffee up! Woo! Woo!
Than the one you claim. I've been away long, and my soul it takes from within. I'm coming home with a face I've never knows I'm trying. 'Cause you're leaving on the side of the phone. Only reason I'm not alone when the few words that you nearby company jumping tonight. There's anything on your side of the phone. But see how the light shines in the darkness. Demons and angels give us heaven and hell. And
Big Mac Bridge down to 71, take the Clayway Bailey just for fun. Take the Roebling Bridge, had to sing to you pretty when it ain't closed down to be worked on. What a pity. Rusty Crown, gonna fall down. It's the next big disaster in this town, and you're holding your breath. Cheating death when you you're crossing the bridge